Good morning, B1 family. Welcome to Blacklogic. Today we're going to cover a couple of things here, family, that I think is something that we really should be keeping our eye on. I'm here early morning with you guys right before 11, depending on what coast you're on, 11, 12 o'clock, a couple of hours before then. But as I was combing through this gathering of information for another broadcast, I came across a couple of stories that my wife shared with me that I thought was very pertinent to just pop this out even before tonight's broadcast. How both political parties, both political groups, the Democrats and the Republicans, have shown their racist tendencies towards Black Americans, towards the Black community. President Biden, and I know you guys have seen this has been all over the internet, in an attempt to pander to the Black community, he visited a Black household and brought forth fried chicken. Now, he brought them fried chicken and fries, but he ate cheeseburger or burger and fries. You know, again, that is such a racial trope that this stigma, and they kind of made fried chicken negative, even though that everybody around the world eats fried chicken. When I lived over in Korea for 3 or 4 years, Koreans cooked and deep fry the entire fried chicken and break it up inside of pieces and give them after they do whatever with the chicken. But nonetheless, people around the world eat fried chicken, but they make it a stigma and a racial trope when it comes to Black Americans, okay? But even in that conversation, what followed to me that was not addressed was the systematic issue facing our community today, that is facing the foundation Black community today. And then on the other side, Fox News and the Republicans took a different approach by the way of proxy through a news anchor there or news rep. They claimed that Black Americans will vote for Donald Trump because of his $400 golden high top sneakers. Fox News suggested that Black people love sneakers and therefore they will support Trump. And then the lieutenant governor out of North Carolina, who's running for governor, and you guys probably seen or heard this guy before, he says all sorts of racial and denigrating things. But this time, of course, he's trying to get on the ticket. He's trying to get on the ballot. He's trying to be the governor. He added to his absurdity by stating that Black Americans owed reparations to America because of people who were protesting and striking against slavery and pretty much Jim Crow. So that's pretty much a slap in the face to descendants of slaves, and it undermines the sacrifices made by Black Americans in building this country and the money that this country owes us. See, the level of racism in politics is at an all-time high. And racism in politics runs deep in America. And a lot of countries may not understand it. They think that we have a peachy king. They don't understand we've been fighting for these things ever since we stepped out of slavery, even while we was in slavery to a certain degree, by revolting, rebelling, resisting, and all sorts of things that we were fighting against the system of oppression. And it's clear to me now, and it's been clear to me for quite some time, that neither party is truly looking out or looking for the best interests of Black Americans. And this is why I'm voting Couch 2024. See, I don't really tend to sway one side of the political spectrum or another, because I understand that both sides are inherently racist. It really doesn't matter. At one point in time, the Democrats were the Dixiecrats, and they were the racist ones who made all the legislation and things against Black folk, and that the Republicans at one point in time was standing up for special interests to free us when Abraham Lincoln was in office, but that was for him to solidify the unification of America. It wasn't really to free the slaves of the inhumane conditions and the humane acts against our people. It wasn't about that. It was about greed. It was about control. They was afraid that the South was going to get too powerful by the way of free labor of slaves, because they control all the raw materials while the North was manufacturing it. Family, I'm trying to tell you, both political parties are racist, and they have no tangibles on the table for Black Americans, and no tangibles, no vote. It really doesn't matter at this point. Because again, hopefully you guys can hear this clip today. I've been having some internet issues here. Okay, I'm not near my usual setup. So let me go ahead. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to turn off this music very quickly here, so I can free up some bandwidth. Because I have to share some clips with you guys. Let me tell you, there's a lot going on, family. There is a lot going on. I want you guys just to hear this clip very quickly. I want you guys to hear this clip. Let me see, make sure that my volume's good. I know last time you said that the volume, you guys couldn't hear it. So let me turn this up just a little bit here. All right, bear with me.
This weekend, hours after he launched his new sneaker line in a surprise visit to SneakerCon in Philadelphia, the gold never surrender high tops officially sold out. No word yet on if the limited supply of $399 kicks will be restocked. Jason, you're a fashionable guy. Will you be getting yourself some Trump sneakers, bright gold, so you can blend in?
Not
in the
that
streets?
price, holy cow! You can get them in POTUS white or T-red. They are definitely a collectible item. You know what drives the Democrats nuts? Donald Trump does so well with blue-collar workers. Those truckers that are saying, "Hey, we're not going to deliver in New York City," that's the heart and soul of the Trump movement. And Democrats can't stand it. They don't understand it. They don't like it, but they try to fight back with these stupid op-eds that make no sense.
Yeah. Again, Raymond, warping American politics, mega bad. You know, Dark Brandon has told us that time and time again, mega bad. But do you think this is actually pushing Trump supporters to be more enthusiastic in their support when they're constantly called deplorable, mega, radicalized, you name it?
David French's piece in the New York Times, frankly, is a little cuckoo. I mean, he talks about these mega threats and how it's unraveling society. I've got a couple of people I'd like David French to talk to, Justice Kavanaugh, Amy Coney Barrett, and pro-lifers who had their clinics firebombed in the last year. I mean, this is completely unhinged. Look, there's a lot of violence happening in America, but to try to somehow throw all of that at Donald Trump's feet, even with those gold high tops, I think this is a bridge too far. But look, every time they try to say Trump, they try to stop him at a trial, or they try to throw all of this, sludge at him, he somehow survives, which must drive his opponents crazy. Because even the sneaker thing, I was on social media last night. Very interesting. As you see black support eroding from Joe Biden, this is connecting with Black America because they love sneakers. They're into sneakers. They love there's a big deal, certainly in the inner city. So when you have Trump roll out his sneaker line, they're like, wait a minute, this is cool. He's reaching them on a level that defies and is above politics. The culture always trumps politics.
I mean, am I getting this right, family? Is he stating that Donald Trump is connecting with Black people through high top golden sneakers? And the reason that we're going to vote for Donald Trump, and the reason why Republicans, Donald Trump is eroding the Democratic Black support, is because of $400 tennis shoes. So because Donald Trump made golden sneakers, I think they also come in red and some other stuff, that we're going to go out and buy $400 sneakers that are not Jordans, and vote for Donald Trump. So we're going to spend $400 and vote for him because he's connecting with Black voters in a cool sort of way with no tangibles on the table. Does that make any sense? So we're going to come vote for you. You're not offering Black Americans anything specifically to the needs and systemic issues that we have, but we're going to go out with, being one of the low income, floor at the bottom, to substance amount of money that we do not make, and spend that on golden sneakers and then vote for Donald Trump. Can I back that up just one more second, family? Let me just back that up one more time. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's me. Hold on. Maybe it's me. I think it's me, family. Let me see if I can get up on here. Let me see. This is utterly ridiculous. I'm so confused. I'm gonna back it up just one second here. Here we go.
I was on social media last night. Very interesting. As you see Black support eroding from Joe Biden, this is connecting with Black America because they love sneakers. They're into sneakers. They love there's a big deal, certainly in the inner city. So when you have Trump roll out his sneaker line, they're like, wait a minute, this is cool. He's reaching them on a level that defies and is above politics. The culture always trumps politics. And Trump understands culture like no politician I've ever seen.
Question for you on that point, though.
Yeah.
Will the people that are excited about the sneakers and excited about Donald Trump, will that translate into them going out and voting for Donald Trump?
Well, anybody willing to put $400 down for a pair of sneakers? Yeah, I think that's commitment to love. It's
hope you're
something.
right.
It's something. It's affection on some level. I don't think this is just for collectors. It's for people who want Donald Trump brand sneakers. That, again, he's connecting on a different level.
Okay, family. I can't do it. I can't. I tried to. I can't watch the rest of it. It's so many hidden messages in it. It's so many racial implications, damn near racial slurs to a certain degree. This is the disrespect and the racism within both parties. This is the racism in both parties, that he believed that because he's connecting with black people, and don't get me wrong, family, I'm pretty sure there's going to be black people who buy the shoes just because they're gold, right? Don't get me wrong. There's going to be black people who buy the shoes simply because they're gold. But do I believe those black people are going to go out and vote for Donald Trump? I do not believe that. I do not believe that. I just think they're going to buy them because they're gold. But this is the racism in the Republican Party. They try to slide it under. They try to be real slick with it. And a lot of times they're more blatant than this, but they're trying to be real slick about the racism and the racial tropes and the way that they speak to us, that we're going to go out and vote for Donald Trump because he made golden shoes. And we're going to go out and spend $400 and then vote for him. That's the issue I have with that. We're going to move on, family. This is utterly ridiculous. It's utterly ridiculous. Because here's another thing that I guess I want to point out as well when we speak about things of this nature, because we're going to go over the clip with President Biden, how he's sitting down with a black family. He brought fried chicken from a local fried chicken joint and brought fried chicken up to the house. And I don't know if he talked to the black family. He said, hey, I'm coming over to your house. Everything, of course, is scheduled. They know that the president's coming. They're all dressed up. And did they ask the president, or did the president ask him, what do you want me to bring over? Okay, the president of the United States of America is coming to your house. And I can only imagine a black family tell us, hey, bring us fried chicken from the local chicken joint. I just don't see that. I think this was a way that he was, one, pandering, two, trying to connect, and three, all the while being the Jim Crow Joe that we already know. Because we understand in the 2020 election, the so-called champion of Black Americans, okay, because they talked about basketball, they talked about school, then they talked about student debt relief. They keep trying to get us with the student debt relief family. Student debt relief is for everybody, not just black folk. Not just black folk. Everybody's having a hard time paying their student debt relief. White people, Asian people, Hispanic people, black people, whoever, right? All people. But what does he do to pander to us? He shows up with a bucket of fried chicken while he sits munching on his cheeseburger, having a nice little chat, conveniently avoids the discussion of the real issues that is affecting the black communities in America. He ain't talked nothing about that. It's insulting, it's degrading, and it's a huge slap in the face, which we're already used to. Both sides of our cheeks should just be purple, red, blue, black, and all sorts of color. Because if you guys have been Biden supporters for this long, and all the information that's out him about his racism, his underminement, his non-support of the black community, and you guys are going to continue to support this guy and to support this party, then you guys are racist as well. You're just puppets for the white supremacy system that they operate in. But see, I also pointed out about this other guy, I think his name is Mark Robinson, who is the Lieutenant Governor of North Carolina, and saying that Black Americans owe reparations to America. Reparations. I mean, are you kidding me? We're the descendants of slaves. Our ancestors built this country with blood, sweat, and tears. And now you're telling us that we owe something to America? Again, not only a slap, but a kick in the asses too. It's an insult and it's a complete undermining of the struggles of our people and what we faced throughout history. But here's the thing. It's just not about what they say. It's about what they do and what they have not done. And we brought up illegal immigration on this channel thousands of times about the undermining of the Black community, how they continue to undermine us, continue to disrespect us, and continue to give resources and support to people who are not legally in the country. But when we comb through the laws and legislation that immigrants receive from the state and federal government, look how they give them opportunities. Look how they provide apartments and housing and ask the people of that state, of that city, to house illegal immigrants, and give them driver's license and work permits and stipends and funds and credit cards, you name it. They have never done that for Black folk. They have never done that for Black folk. And matter of fact, those same resources and benefits have been denied to Black Americans in this country. But they welcome these people with open arms while we're treated as second and third and fourth class citizens. See, you know what? I won't go to my next point. I won't go to my next point. So don't let them fool you, okay? Don't let them divide us with their empty promises and their pandering. Pandering, divide, have us at each other's throat. That way, a great majority of us won't be on code and we won't follow the agenda of no tangibles, no vote. That's the agenda, family. No tangibles, no vote. Don't talk to us. Don't pander to us. Don't show us symbolism until you have tangibles on the table. We need to come together. And this is the one time I will promote a monolithic sort of perspective of Black folk coming together for a common cause to really show proof and support of power in the position that we need to change things for ourselves. We need to hold these politicians accountable for their non-actions and their racist trope actions as well. And we need to fight for our own justice and put pressure on them. We only deserve it, family. This is a God-given right that we all supposed to have. Because until we do, nothing is going to change for us. Nothing is going to change until we do. See, this is how they use all these particular Black puppets. They put Black people in white spaces and they contort and misconstrue the information to confuse us so we're divided. We're going to continue to be ignored. We're going to continue to be marginalized and oppressed by the very people who claim to represent us. And that part really is a sign and dedicated to the Democratic Party. Because we already know how the Republicans feel about Black Americans, okay? Not every single Republican, but a vast majority of them. It's something that we cannot afford to accept anymore. We can't do it. This is the election, family. This is the election where we show our power. This is the election where we show our unification. See, a lot of times they're like, well, if you don't support certain political parties with your dollars or lobbyists, then you won't get the things you're asking for. No, if we're going to support politicians with our dollars, then we need to support grassroots reparationists politicians that are going to do the bidding of the Black community for the things that we're owed from this country, because we deserve better and it's time that we demand it. So unless we start standing together and start fighting together to make our voices heard, we're going to be in the same situation, the same predicament year after year, term after term. So this is the goal, family. This is our goal here today. This is our goal here today. Now, they had another bootlicking Negro. Yeah, they had another bootlicking Negro on screen here. Let me show you. Here we go. Yeah, I know this guy. Yeah, I know this guy. Another bootlicking Negro. And I just want you guys to hear this, how, of course, Toyo Sotomayor is definitely a Trump supporter. He's definitely a Republican. And I have nothing against who they support. I really don't. I really don't. But what are you supporting? Are you supporting a person? Are you supporting a party? Or are you supporting policies that is going to systemically change the conditions of Black Americans in this country? That's the questions I have.
Show host Tommy, you are my envoy to Black America. Johnny's my correspondent. You're my envoy. Will the Chicken Summit be effective?
No, because let me tell you something, Jesse. he forgot to bring watermelon and grape drink. Now, if he had brought watermelon and grape drink, that would have completed the trifecta. But he felt like we only like chicken, and we need these things in conjunction with each other. And I'm just sad that he decided to carry it a little farther and say, let me get a hamburger so I can let you know I'm different than you. I don't know if you heard that part. He decided to have a hamburger. He didn't want none of that Negro food.
He did not want the chicken, that's for sure. We always send Johnny out. I'm sure you've seen all the shows. You never miss an episode of Primetime. When I used to go out in the street during the Obama years, I had such a hard time finding a Black American who didn't like Obama. Obama could do anything, and they loved him. Johnny goes out now. We have a hard time finding Black Americans who like Biden. Is that going to translate into anything?
I think it really is. Let me tell you something. Not only do I watch you every night, but my mom watches. She watches, and she says she hate watches you. She watches you, but you make points, but she said you're crazy.
So
and
is
I
my
believe
mom.
that that's what's happening. A lot of
both of our moms hate watch me.
Well, no. So I think what's happening is really a movement is coming about. I've been on the whole, hey, as Black people, we should hold our vote for who is actually for us for a long time. And I got called all kinds of words that I won't say on your family-friendly program. But I really do think a solid movement is going here. I live in Atlanta, and I've heard from a lot of people who called into my radio program about how they really are changing. So there's a real momentum. It's more than just words. This is really happening.
So should we put how much stock in 50, Snoop, Killer Mike, guys like that?
You don't put any much stock in them, but I'll tell you what you should put stock in. Most Black men, as Killer Mike said, they have fears, but he didn't tell you what the exact fear was. The fear is in the Black community that Black men don't want to upset Black women. If you remember in the last election cycle, Black men were coming out. Seriously, they were coming out voting and saying they were going to vote for Trump. And then there were articles upon articles in major magazines, Huff Post, talking about how Black men have let the Black community down. So they were afraid of having that put.
Okay, I know you guys want me to pause it. I know you guys just want me to pause it and talk about that. Sotomayor, oh my God. But anyway, here's my problem with this clip. They did point out the pandering and symbolism and underminement and the disrespect that Joe Biden showed by showing up the fried chicken to a Black household and spoke nothing specifically for Black Americans, talking about student loan debt relief, which we're going to go over. And then he goes into 50 Cent, Killer Mike, and somebody else, entertainers. These are the representations that they like to speak of. Golden sneakers, rappers, and entertainers. They won't speak to the Black media. They won't speak to Black intellectuals who are B1 or in foundational Black Americans. They won't do that because they know they're going to have a real conversation. See, they won't go and speak to these people who are going to hoop and holler on the internet and entertainers, where they're teaching these entertainers who are multi-millionaires, who have maybe came from the gutters and sewers and hoods and ghettos, but they're far removed from the place where they grew up at. Now I'm gonna read some of your comments. I saw some of your comments here, family. I know it's still morning here. Rosande said B1 to you as well. Tracy says B1 always as well. Then we have Solid Snake. Where is our accountability as a culture? We're the largest consumers and marketers of our very own discrimination. Why is that? Why is that, Solid Snake? See, my thing is this: as Black folk, we have systemic issues, but what is the cause of that? Everybody always speaks on this sort of existential branch of the problems that the Black community have within America. But my question is this: what is the root cause, Solid Snake? So don't just put things in the comments, because I will address them. What is the number one reason for the very same conditions and issues that you stated here in the chat? She states that I'm with you. I'm with you, Netflix and chill for 2024. Absolutely. Okay, I don't know what sort of the Netflix and chill you're referring to. I'm married, so I hope it's not that. I'm just kidding. Solid Snake again says, we do. Our thug culture has led to the largest living prison population. That's untrue. That's untrue. Black Americans are 15% of the population of the US, around 50 million of us, and only 1.2, 1.5% of us is so-called the criminal class. But when you look at the white supremacists, when you look at the white population, they have a higher population per capita of people who are committed for crimes. But you look at the injustices in the legal system when it comes to law enforcement of them committing crimes and getting off or getting slaps on the wrist. See, you have to be very careful of people like Solid Snake. You have to be very careful of people like Solid Snake in the chat right here, because he's willing to call out and give you misinformation and not give you the statistics and the root cause of the issues of our people. Rather, he will put this propaganda to, I guess, get some white cohorts on his side. Solid Snake, you need to check yourself, brother. You need to check yourself, because give us the true crime of America. Give us the true crime of America. We don't need to go back to slavery. We don't need to go back to Jim Crow. Can we go to the 1994 crime bill? Can we go to the crack epidemic that was caused by the three-letter agencies? Can we do these? Can we actually point some things out of the systemic issues that we have? Can we point those things out? Or what about point out the great things that Black Americans have done? We've modernized the modern world. We have modernized the modern world with our innovations and our inventions and all the things we've done for other groups by proxy, by us dying in the street, protesting and marching and changing laws and changing legislation. Are you going to point those things out too? Or are you going to just point out the negative things that the white media and the white establishment and the white supremacist culture have always did racial tropes against Black folk? Is that what you're going to do? Oh, you're not going to do that though, are you, Solid Snake? Okay. Okay, I'm gonna stay on code, family. I'm gonna keep it moving. Solid Snake says not even including baby mama, Section 8 babies and all. Did you know that majority of people on welfare are white Americans? I digress. Caution Mix One, I see you, B1 brother. B1 from DC. You know I'm originally from DC as well. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, okay. That makes sense. He said that he supports Trump. That makes sense. I got it, family. He supports Trump. I got you. He said denounce thug culture. I don't know what thug culture is. I know what Black revolutionary culture is. I know what Black empowerment culture is. That's what I do know. Let's see here. Blacks for RFK said both parties have failed us. I encourage everyone to watch the Killer Mike sit down with RFK Jr. at the barbershop. That was a really good interview. That wasn't not a bad interview. But even in that interview, Blacks for RFK, I wanted to point out. I pointed out something very staggering to me. The method or the solution that Killer Mike was given to me had a lingering dictatorship to me, right? If young Black men get Black women pregnant, then they have to go to trade school or they have to do this. I mean, we should have some other options there. I understood what he was getting at. He says, and the interviews with RFK by Crystal XO and Angela Stan King of the Black, okay. Jessica Dowry says, sorry, at Solid Snake, that is so false. Thank you, sister. Our sister knows. He's Blacks for RFK says, for me, I've never had my dad around. It made me hurt and angry. I understand I never met my dad, but it don't have me hurt and angry because when you know better, you do better. If we know why majority of Generation X and the millennial fathers are not in the household, it's just not because they were thugs, lazy, or didn't want to take care of their children. We have to look at the systemic issues dating back from mass incarceration and onward. Or we can even go back before then, but I'll stay at mass incarceration. I'll stay at the 1994 crime bill. I'll stop at stop and frisk. I'll stop at the anti-drug bill. I forgot who created that particular bill. That's what we think have to stop at. Jessica Dowry said that I hate the association of Black people and violence as Black culture. Thank you, sister. So many Black creators say this and do not realize they are doing the work of white supremacists. Thank you very much, sister. Thank you. Okay. See, Blacks for RFK says I have a positive male role model can change your life for better. I have some very positive Black role models. Okay. This is my last comment from Solid Snake. How you be Black and vote anti-gun in a racist nation? I'm a gun-toting Black American. I'm a gun-toting foundational Black American. Okay, Second Amendment rights. So I don't know what he's talking about. Let's get back into it, family. Lord have mercy. They come out the weeds, don't they? They come out the weeds, don't they, family? Lord have mercy. Got to be more careful. The internet where everybody's right and everybody's wrong. Let me see where I got this next clip, family, because I do want to show you this article very quickly here. If you guys can bear with me, I'm going to show you this article. It states here, tone deaf Biden buys black kids fried chicken, accused of pandering and racist trope. And there are some things I just want to point out here. Let me see if I can blow this up for you. It says, a few weeks ago, I stopped. This is Joe Biden. A few weeks ago, I stopped to grab some food and eat with Eric and his sons, Christian and Carter, from talking about student loan forgiveness to basketball and business club. I love that conversation. I bet you did. Now, before I play this clip, I have a problem with the dad. I had a problem with the dad. You know what the dad started talking about, family? The first thing, he didn't talk about education. He started talking about sports instead of talking about education first. There's systemic issues that is facing our communities, and you're going to start off with your sons playing AAU basketball to the president of the United States. This is the one of the great few chances on national TV, and I'm pretty sure it was probably pre-recorded so people don't know the president's location, to speak truth to power. And instead of doing that, but again, let me digress, family. I understand that this family, this dad was vetted. He was vetted before the president got there. They asked probably a couple of black families a certain series of questions, and how they answered it and say, you know what, we're going to that one, because they're not going to ask us any hard questions. They're not going to speak about any resources or benefits or reparations or making black people a protected class. They're not going to ask us anything like that. We're going to have some good old fried chicken. I'm going to eat a burger because I don't eat fried chicken with niggas, but I'm going to have a burger and we're going to go from there. That's what this is about. That's what this is about.
Are you guys playing hooky today?
I think that one did. That's awesome.
Ms. Borla, please excuse Carter for his absence today, but I needed his advice, so we had lunch together.
President, coming over to the house. President, come.
Here's your food, Mr. President. It's a pleasure serving you.
All right, man.
This is a very unique day, very special day.
So we about to eat dinner with Joe Biden. That's fire. Like, the president's coming.
Thank you, man.
Thank you, sir.
Keep the faith.
Couldn't really believe that the president was coming to our house.
Welcome, Rob. We really appreciate you coming to us.
Come on, man. This is a pain in the neck for you.
This is all great. So what we'd like to do is just come into our space, our living area.
All right.
Well, Carter, you want to show President Biden one of your pictures up here? You want to go over this side and show President Biden one of your favorite pictures on the wall?
Well, one of my favorites is this one right here. Well, we were in Jamaica.
That's cool. Oh, man, you got chicken fingers. You got the whole deal. I went the route of making sure I had the hamburger. So tell me about you guys. What you doing these days?
Why don't you share about your passion of sports?
I'm playing AAU basketball right now.
Are you really? Are you guard?
Yes, sir.
Now, what grade are you in?
Okay, family. First things first. The president said, "Tell me something about you guys." Well, I go to this school, and the resources that we're lacking are books. Our ceilings are falling out. Now, I don't know this, but I'm pretty sure they go to a black school. There's some issues that the president could probably address, or at least say it publicly to get the support and resources that we need. But the father led the conversation and was talking about, tell them about your sports. What? See, again, this family was vetted. And when I mean by family, I don't mean the children. I mean the father. Lord have mercy.
7th grade.
7th grade.
Right now, I'm just doing basketball, playing guard on the JV team for my school.
How about in school? How are y'all doing in school? You should tell the president about this.
So now how we doing this?
Everything about it is
Wow.
the business academy I'm in. We get to travel, so we've been to NC State, Wake Tech, and
You're kidding me.
we went to this small dry cleaning business,
Oh.
and it's cool.
You're kidding me. You're in a business school? You guys travel?
It was a great experience.
I'm impressed. Is that a new program at the school?
Yes, sir, it is. We just started just a couple of years ago.
So what got you interested in teaching? Administration?
So I grew up in rural South Carolina. My grandfather was very influential in showing me and teaching me that it would be good for an African-American male to be a teacher.
An African-American male. And then secondly, I just thought about this too. Why do they bring them fried chicken? Why do they bring them fried chicken? Is fried chicken really that good for us? Again, I digress.
It can have influence, positive impact on the youth that we'll be supporting in schools. And I started teaching at elementary school, and then became an assistant principal and then principal here in Raleigh.
Are you available?
Always.
Okay. To the people that you're supposed to be with?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. That's what's most important.
Are you guys not getting this, family? They got a black family here, and they're outside throwing the football while having a discussion. Previous to that, they're talking about basketball. What I'm not getting is any significant questions that is going to challenge the president to do something for Black Americans. I wonder if this now, the family seems to be foundational Black Americans. I'm looking at the dad, he seems to be foundational Black American. I'm just questioning a lot of things here.
I understand you're interested in something I got involved in, mental health.
Yeah.
Tell me how I got interested in that.
I think I struggled with mental health earlier this year when I got hurt. I went to a therapist. I had a therapist. I think it helps. And people may make jokes about it, but I think you should just, if you struggle with it, you should try it out.
There's nothing different than breaking your arm and having a mental health problem. It takes real courage. Gentlemen, I really am proud of you. It's really amazing.
As, again, a dad working with two sons, supporting two sons, taking care of two sons.
The symbolism in this video is just downright disrespectful. One has a basketball, one has a football. They speak about a very significant issue that plagues America, but especially Black Americans because of the oppression and suppression and a lot of homelessness within our communities. But instead of coming up with a question of substance, right? Because if I think if the president's going to come to my house and I know that I'm going to address mental health issues, I'm going to ask him, Mr. President, how are you going to decrease the amount of mental health issues for Black Americans? How are you going to decrease the amount of mental health issues or support or benefit or anything for Americans in general? Right? It's just on with the next. I'm going to address something. I'm going to say, oh, you're so strong and you're so tough. Next question. Oh, you're so strong and you're so tough. Next question. I'm going to just let this play for maybe another 30 or 40 seconds or so. I just can't handle the pandering, the absent-mindedness of the father, not preparing his children to ask substantive questions, like not difficult, tough questions, but what are you going to do with this? What are you going to do about this issue and that issue? I'm gonna let it play a little bit more, family.
Student loan was just something that was just an albatross and trying to take care of. And when that erasure happened, it was such a tremendous relief for the home. I can't explain how much of a positive impact that it has had upon me, but also with their future.
How much was it forgiven?
$125,000, sir.
It's a life changer.
It was a life changer, a complete game changer for my life now, and then for them moving forward, because I am able to do things differently for them. So thank you for that.
This is when Joe Biden just said to the Black community, gotcha, bitch, because this was already rehearsed, family. This is a setup. This is pandering beyond pandering, okay? This is a scapegoat. This is baiting the Black community because Joe Biden wiped away one Black person's $125,000. Now, don't get me wrong, family. I tell you on Blacklogic, we speak the truth. My wife got some of her student debt relief, but guess who she's voting for? No one, because there's no tangibles on the table. Because student loan debt relief is not just for Black people. but they're pandering it as it is. White people, Asian people, Hispanic people, everybody who's a citizen of America. Okay, I don't know how they comb through the demographics. I don't know how the amount of money that different people got relieved, because not all the first student loan got relieved, but nonetheless, this is how they pander to Black Americans and use bait for the rest of Black Americans who probably have student debt, like the millennials, as well as Generation Y. But this is how they're going to trick or try to trick Black Americans once again in voting Democrat. If you notice that every point that they made was systematic in their approach for people to vote, for Black people to vote for Democrat once again. That's what this is about, family. That is this. Oh, Lord have mercy. Let me read some of your comments here. I know we're still in the morning here. Let me read some of your comments. I'm gonna go back. I see everybody's chiming in here. Solid Snake, let's do a call in. I might do that, Solid Snake. I might do a call in. Okay, I'm away from my regular setup, so I don't know how the connection is. Jessica Diary say he took those Negroes cookout, the disrespect. I will never let that man into my home and use me and my family as a prop for his failing political campaign. That sister on fire. That sister is on fire. Don't bring fried food into my house. That stuff causes heart disease and an early death. Thank you, Blacks for RFK. Thank you very much. A whole meal from Cookout costs less than 10. Shaking my head. This is disgusting. Then they do the stereotypical I'm an athlete conversation, shaking my head. And they did that before the business club. They did that before the mental health issues. Siobhan Lewis says the video is cringing to watch. It is. That's why I had to stop it, sister. I had to stop it. 7 of 7. I'm sure the meeting was organized prior to cameras turning on. Indeed, it was. And the family was vetted prior to them even getting there. He says, Solid Snake is now promoting me. Okay, Solid Snake. Don't try to trick me, though, Solid Snake. I read your comments, brother. I read your comments. Jessica Diary says, how about we struggle with mental health because of racism and his administration refused to do anything about it while doing everything for everybody else? I wish I had my clips. I wish I had all my prompts. I'm pressing my buttons. I'm showing people dancing. You know how I get down, family. They lucky I'm not near my regular setup. Lord. Trump shoes look like gold dust from WWF wrestling. They do. But don't get me wrong. We know brothers out there going to buy some gold shoes. We know that. That don't mean they're going to vote for Trump. They are not interested in addressing anything of significance that will improve our situation. Thank you, brother. Absolutely true. Biden is literally playing in our faces. Of course he is. Okay. I'll be thinking, what's this? I'll be thinking Wicked Witch of the West from Wizard of Oz. Shalom, my brother DSB, my power brother there. Thank you, brother. I'm curious to know where the mom is. She probably out of sight, out of mind. And then Jessica Diary states, sadly, I know people who think this was great. You know, the Democratic shields, you know, the Democratic puppets. Let me move on. I wanted to point something out that now I want to, we already went over the golden shoes for Donald Trump, okay? And then we got the fried chicken. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to get to the clip. Are you guys familiar with this gentleman right here? Let me see, where am I at? Give me a second, fam. Are you guys familiar with this gentleman right here? Are you guys familiar with this gentleman? Now, this is a gentleman who states, Black people owe reparations. If you want to tell the truth about it, it is you who owes the American government. That's basically what he's getting at, okay? That's what that's about. So let me share another clip, not another clip, but some commentary with you guys. Give me 1 second here. Let me get this out of here. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, family. I'm popping up as we speak. I want to read a couple of things to you guys. Let me make sure I'm good here. All right, here we go. Now, I want to point out some things. This is the guy who says that Black people owe reparations, okay? And it is a bunch of foolishness. And so I got some highlights here. Hopefully you guys can see it. Mark Robinson, who is Black, is currently running for North Carolina governor. He wants to tell the truth about it. It is you who owes, says Robinson during the 2021 North Carolina Republican Party convention, seemingly referring to Black Americans. Why do you owe? Because somebody in those fields took strikes for you. And those fields were ended and slavery was ended, and somebody had to walk through Jim Crow for you. Somebody fought wars and died for you. Okay, hold on. Okay, hold on. Let me just address things. I'm not going to go on a tangent. I'm not going to go on a ramble. I promise. I'm just going to speak very straightforward with this. Okay, so somebody had to walk through Jim Crow for you. We did. We walked through Jim Crow. We were still getting hung. We were still getting whooped. We were still getting wrongly incarcerated. We are the ones who walked through Jim Crow for ourselves. Then he stated, because somebody in those fields took strikes for you. Who in the plantation fields, in the slave fields, took strikes for us? Who? Who did? Who took strikes? Who? You mean the Civil War? Is that what he's talking about? But you said in the fields. I'm just breaking it down as I see it, family. I know you guys will come up with your own context. Leave it in the chat. Leave it in the comments after the video ends. But this is important. Somebody fought wars and died for you. I don't think he knows that Black Americans have been a part of every major war in America. The Civil War, World War I, World War II, the Korean War, the Vietnam War, the war on, look, I can't even remember the war I was in. The Afghani War, the Iraqi War, you name it. We've been in every major war. So what is he talking about? Somebody fought wars and died for you. We died for ourselves. You guys know about the Pollies and Red Tails. You know about the Civil War. Listen, again, I'm not going to break down history to its lowest level because, again, I know you guys know this information already. Somebody lived less than because they didn't have what you have. What is he talking about? What do we have that other people don't have in America? Maybe, again, I would love to question the brother because I have no idea what the hell he's talking about. There are people in their graves right now. Yes, a lot of foundational Black Americans, our ancestors, yes, who built this country, who fought for this country, who slaved for this country, who walked through Jim Crow, through all the racism, discrimination, all the bias, underminement. Yeah. Thank you. And they're out there because they're willing to stand up and fight for you. Who? Who is he talking about? Name them. Name them. Then he states, made a habit of casting Black people as the real villains of the slave trade. Okay, now he's going to get into the whole African sold us into slavery. But not only did Africa sell us into slavery, we was also stolen. We was also stolen from the land. Okay, we was traded from the land. But another part of history that they're not mentioning, that there was already Black Native Americans here, okay, prior to the slave ships arriving. And the first slave ship that arrived on the East Coast between South Carolina, Georgia was back in 1526, where those 100 Portuguese Black slaves, where the Spanish conquistadors brought us over, revolted and ran off with, and this, you can read this for yourself, family, ran off with dark melanated people within the woods and jungles of America. There were Black people already here prior to 1526. Because when the Spanish conquistadors gave report, they said they ran off with people who were dark color tone like them and looked very similar. Okay, that's not your light skin, white skin, red skin, Mongolian type looking people, okay, that came across one of the Barren Straits or when the landmass was connected, blah, blah, blah. You know the rest of it. He says in a 2017 Facebook post about why he doesn't call himself African American, his reason and why Foundation Black Americans don't call ourselves African American are totally different. Robinson placed the primary blame for the transatlantic slave trade on Africans. So we're not going to talk about the Arabs who basically started the slave trade. They were the go-between, they were the middleman for the British of trading and stealing and coercing and tricking a lot of the Black African tribes to sell their people into slavery. And even in that, some of these African tribes didn't know what they were going to do with these warring tribes, these tribes that they were combating against, that they were warring against. They didn't know what they would do, they didn't know what they're going to do with these particular slaves. But I'm going to read it, family. I'm going to read it because some of you may say, oh, that's a good point. But I want you to just read in the evilness in this. It was Africans who fought wars against Africans and then enslaved the losers. It was victorious African warriors who sold defeated African warriors to European slave traders in exchange for cloth, guns, and money. It was Africans that facilitated the kidnapping of other Africans to be marched off to the slave ports on the African coast. It was Africans who watched as Africans were sold away in the belly of slave ships toward the brutal system of chattel slavery. It was Africans who increased their power through the enslavement of Africans, and today it is Africans who are still doing this to Africans. I guess the point that I'm missing here is, what about the inhumaneness of the Europeans? Right? We can comb through, we can go back and forth about the Ghanaians, the Nigerians, certain warrior tribes and regions that was selling and trading African slaves. What about the inhumane of the British? I think he was a Spanish or Portuguese Pope that essentially back in the 1400s designated dark melanated Africans to be the slaves of the world. And through that made Arabs as the merchantmen to go out and gather Black people, steal Black people, trick Black people of work in other countries just to enslave them. There's a lot of history that's missing here. Then he states here, Robinson's other greatest hits include time he compared slavery to abortion, and the time he said that the white laborers had it just as bad, if not worse, than Black slaves. In more recent advisement, Robinson repeatedly claimed that he has freed himself from the left's welfare plantation, of course. So my thing with that, family, is he is really trying to appease, he's trying to appeal himself to a white supremacist voting base in North Carolina, and I hope that they utterly turn him down. I hope that majority of the white people there are not as racist as that Black mother, okay? Boy, whoo, Lord, have mercy. Let me see. Let me read some of your comments here, family. It says RFK is not going to give us reparation and cash payments, so it's a solid no for me, Dr. Cornel West. Well, if you guys watch one of my brothers, Black Alpha Network, he had Dr. Cornel West on his broadcast, and Dr. Cornel West was not talking about reparations. So if you check that interview out on Black Alpha Network and look at that interview with Cornel West, it's a no for me. It's a no for me on all of the above. Tracy said, where is the wife? Okay. Solid Snake said, I love you. I love you too, brother, but you're I think you've been tricked. I think you've been duped. I think you've been manipulated in this white supremacy system and the way you think about things, okay? No one's saying that Black people are angels, but we're close. The email header on my student loan read, your loan has been forgiven as a result of actions under my administration. See, and here's the thing. I'm glad 707 pointed that out, as I did about my wife getting her student loan debt relief. But 707 is still on code. He understands, or she understands, that this is about the Black collective and not just these little toys baiting Black Americans to come and vote because a couple of Black Americans got their student loan debt relief. Other people got theirs relieved as well, okay? Not just Black people, okay? DSB said, I remember him saying that crap, okay? He said he's a Democratic shill, okay? He can miss me with that. Although I do agree with reparations, just not for everyone. What do you mean, Solid Snake, just not for everyone? Reparations is not for everyone. We're talking about foundation Black Americans. If you understood the lineage, then you understand what I'm getting at. Rosanda say fried chicken and a paycheck, shaking my head. A lot of those down south blocks are so weak and pathetic. Boy, they love the plantation. Well, we got some down south people who are on code. Okay, I know you say a lot of them. I know you didn't say all, so I'm just gonna point that out. Solid Snake says, we have my heroes are my father, Willie Tillman, and my uncles. I was rejected. Jessica Dyer stated, where is this article? I missed the source. I love to go back and read it. I'll close it out, sister. It was from The Root. It was from The Root, just to let you know. I'm guessing Mr. Robinson ended his speech with a little tap dance. You know he did. And he was buck-eyeing and cheesing the entire way. Ami Muhammad, Negroes need to vote for Trump or Jim Crow Biden. Oh, my bad. not need to vote. They don't need to vote for either one. Okay, my apologies. No reparations, no vote. You're on code. You're on code, Amy. You're on code. Negroes vote with their emotions and not for tangibles. Thank you very much. And that's what both of these administrations are doing. They are fear-mongering Black people to vote for, the Democratic slave master or the Democratic plantation or the Republican plantation. Okay, but then again, family, I'm telling you my stance. See, on Blacklogic, I love just to give you the truth with a little Black bias. Okay, with a little Black bias, but we really want to speak the truth. That's why I give you clips and I give you governmental websites. So you got like, well, I can't argue with that. Okay. Now, I got one more thing for you guys before I decide if I'm going to let anyone join me here for a couple of minutes, okay? I have one more thing to share with you guys. Give me 1 second here. I don't know if you guys heard this. This was from a while back. We should have been keeping our eye. Hold on for a second. We should have been keeping our eye on Bishop T.D. Jakes. I know I haven't. I don't really follow the guy or watch the guy. I think the last time I heard a piece from his was 7 Steps to a Turnaround. And it was years ago. But nonetheless, this happened, I think, 8 years ago. This clip that you're about to see, him and Lamont Shield, Democratic puppet, who got fired, thank God, but now he's back on. But nonetheless, this happened about 8 years ago. And I want you to really listen about how T.D. Jakes answered this question and how what's going on today with him speak volumes of the things we missed 8 years ago. Okay, listen in on this, family.
Digital community said, do you think, I'm assuming, LGBT community and the Black church can coexist?
Absolutely.
Let me push that question because that's sort of an obvious yes. Church internal community said, do you think, I'm assuming, LGBT community and the Black church can coexist?
Absolutely.
Let me push that question because that's sort of an obvious yes. Church ain't turning nobody away. How should the Black church and the LGBT community exist?
I think it's going to be diverse from church to church. Every church has a different opinion on the issue, and every gay person is different. And I think that to speak the church, the Black church or white church or any kind of church you want to call it, are all the same is totally not true. And all gay people are not the same. The types of relationships that are afforded are based on the types of people in each individual case. Yeah. And LGBTs of wipes and swords have to find a household of worship that reflects what your views are and what you believe like anybody else. And the church should have the right to have its own convictions and values. If you don't like those convictions and values, you totally disagree with it, don't try to change my house, move into your own and establish that sort of thing and find somebody who gets what you.
I got a question. What does the word say? What does the Bible say? Can anybody reference or copy paste some scripture inside the chat? I mean, I'm not overly religious or anything, but what does the Bible say about homosexuality? That you should be utterly supportive? I don't know. I'm asking. Fair use, YouTube, all the video clips here falls under fair use and public domain. Stop striking, stop limiting my videos. But nonetheless, they hate the truth. People hate the truth. But I just want to know what the word says, family. You don't have to be Christian to put it in the chat. You can be Muslim, you can be Buddhist, you can be nothing, you can be atheist, you can be agnostic. I don't care. What does the Bible say about homosexuality? I'm just asking. Coach says that TD been a crook for years, nothing but the boule go there. Thank you. It's like a fashion show, ain't it, brother? My wife used to go there. Ain't nothing but a fashion show. That's why she don't go anymore. She stopped going for years. Let it finish, but find that because I don't know what TD Jake's talking about. Blacks for RFK says fake preachers follow the money, not the word. And that's why, in my opinion, I do believe that TD Jakes is a billionaire selling Black Hope, him and Obama, Black Hope. I like what Dick Gregory said about hope. You can't eat hope. You can't drink hope. What's hope going to do for you? Hope is not going to do anything. DSB said it's a abomination in the Bible. Thank you very much. Let me play a little bit more of this. Okay, let me play just a little bit more of this. Give me a second.
You get
about faith. And trust me, I've talked to enough LGBT, they are not all the same.
Oh, for sure. Anyone all Christians.
No.
But how do we, first of all, has your thinking evolved on this?
Evolved and evolving. Evolved and evolving.
Where were you and where are you?
I think that where I am is to better understand, the church bought into the myth that this was a Christian nation. And once you get past that, which a lot of people are going to criticize me because they're still going to think it's a Christian nation, which is a whole different show. But once you begin to understand that democracy and that a republic actually is designed to be an overarching system to protect our unique nuances, then we no longer look for public policy to reflect biblical ethics. If we can divide, or what you would call separation of church and state, then we can dwell together more effectively. Because atheists, agnostics, Jews, all types of people, Muslims pay into the government then cannot reflect one particular view over another just because we are the dominant group of religious people in the country, because those numbers are changing every day. We need a neutralized government that protects our right to disagree with one another and agree with one another.
So that covers what happens outside the church.
Right.
Inside the church, has your thinking biblically, scripturally, hermeneutically shifted at all? And the reason I ask that is because I talk to a lot of ministers now, and there was a big conference in South Africa in the last couple of weeks where people from all over the world were there, and this is one of the issues that came up along with race and other things. And one of the questions was, is there a way to approach Christian tradition, Christian scripture in light of a new understanding of LGBT? For example, 18th century, there might have been a particular understanding of what slavery meant in relation to Paul, in relation to the New Testament, et cetera. That has shifted to the point that it is socially accepted that irrespective of what text says, literally, we don't support slavery.
Get on with it, brother. Get on with it.
Right. And even though various most churches don't support slavery. Might be a few out there that we don't get invited to. But similarly, there's room for that same kind of shift.
I think that shift has to go on behind the closed doors of the church, because I think in the mainstream America, anybody who doesn't agree with you, we have a derogatory name to call you. And I think it oversimplifies the complexity of text.
Okay. Did I miss out on something? Did he said that information or that discussion happens behind closed doors of the church? That's not the church I grew up in. Let me tell you something, family. What's going on today was slowly matriculating and transforming throughout the years. And it took this long for a lot of us, okay, not saying all, a lot of us to really wake up and understand that we had all of this evidence. We had all of these signs to tell us what the hell was going to happen in 2024. And it's come to fruition. There was a lot of tall tale signs that we ignored, and we're no longer ignoring them. And we need to wake the hell up. Amy Muhammad says the Most High is against this blank crap. YouTube algorithms. Solid saying, seriously, if you work for illegal immigrants who do not pay taxes, should you as an American citizen? That's a good question. So let me do this very quickly. I got about 10 minutes left in me. Okay, I got about 10 minutes left in me. So let me go ahead and throw this in the chat. Since I was asked earlier, I just want to hear what you got. If anybody has something to say, there's a link in the chat. And please excuse the internet. Okay, my internet is not that good where I'm at. If anyone wants to join me very quickly, I got a couple of minutes. There's a link in the chat. But talking about this conversation, family, and I'm just looking at a lot of things I think that we have ignored over the years is now biting us and kicking us in our ass. Whether it be Trump running for president again, not offering tangibles to Black Americans, not, I don't know, telling us what he's going to do for the Black community, right? And again, some people say, oh, he becomes president, he's an American president. Joe Biden's an American president. But we can point out specific legislation that these two presidents have either vote in executive orders or pass through some sort of legislation in order to support other ethnic groups within America. Okay, I see we got our we got our on the chopping block brother, Solid Snake here. Let me add him to the stage very quickly. Brother, put on a shirt. Put on a shirt, brother. We're not doing that here, brother. I don't know what bussy-fied thing you got going on there, brother, but you got to put on a shirt. Solid Snake, you got to put on a shirt, brother. You got to put on a shirt. I don't know what's going on over there. I don't know what's going on over there. I don't know if he's gonna put baby oil on. I don't know if he got a G-string going. We're not doing that, brother. The internet is a wild place, isn't it, family? The internet is a wild place. I see my great brother in here, Jermaine Anderson. Shout out goes out to my moderators. Okay, shout out goes to my moderators. Okay, I'm gonna give you another minute, Solid Snake. Go and put on a shirt, brother. Here we go. Let's try one more time. You gotta turn down your volume in the background. Solid Snake, you gotta turn down the volume of the video in the background. Shout out goes to my moderators. Solid Snake, go and put on a shirt, brother. Here we go. Let's try one more time. Solid Snake, you gotta turn down the volume in the background. I can hear myself. All right, what's on your mind, brother?
Oh, no, I was just calling in, checking in, man. I like what you're saying, bro. I support you. I support you 100%.
I appreciate that. But let's talk about them comments you made earlier about the Black community and also supporting Trump. Tell me what I meant.
I've been supporting Trump. I always supported him.
Tell me why you support him.
I mean, when you look at everything they say about this guy, it's all a lie. Everything. I haven't seen not one racist comment he's made. I haven't seen not one unreal statement he's made about anything that's going on in the community right now.
Hold on for a second, brother. Hold on for a second. Let me ask you a question.
One thing.
Hold on. Let me ask you one question.
I understand we all black first, but I mean, come on, does it always?
Hold on, brother. Okay, hold on. I got to calm him down a little bit. I muted you, brother, just to let you know. I got a question for you. You stated that you never heard Donald Trump make a racist comment. So what's more important to anybody on this earth? Is it the comments you make or the actions that you carry out on?
Well, I believe that it doesn't matter about the racist comments. I'm talking about the actions he took. I'm trying to see what actions did he take against the Black community. I want to know which one did he take. Because last I heard, when he first got inaugurated in the White House, the first thing he asked, the one thing
Okay, I don't know if Solid Snake came on here to hear himself, family, but he definitely is not hearing me. Where I'm asking about the Central Park 5. What is your response on that?
What? Hold on,
on Central Park 5.
Central Park 5. Come on, man. Did you watch it? Did you watch it? I mean, there's actual video of the Central Park 5 being interrogated. Did you even watch it? So he was not actually wrong. Because if you want to sit here and say that just because I'm black, I can get away with a crime, I disagree with that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm serious. I'm serious. I'm sick and tired of you black first people.
Okay, hold on, brother. Hold on. I know you're emotionally charged. This is the problem with it. Can we have a civil discussion? Can we have a civil discussion?
When you can be civil.
Oh God, he's still going on. I'm letting him finish. I got him on mute, family. I just want him to calm down. Calm down, brother. I'm gonna let you speak, brother. We're just having a conversation. I'm just having a conversation. Now you know that black people don't get away with no damn crime. So stop the lies.
Yes, we do.
Okay, what crime you got to
rule? We got a whole new rule. 90% of black people don't even get. Come on, man, stop it. Because if a nigga come and knock my window out, right? If a brother come knock my window out right now, I'm not finna call the police.
This is what I'm talking about. I kind of knew what I was getting into, family. Solid Snake cannot. What crime, Solid Snake, did you get away with?
Man, I committed and I took accountability for every crime I ever committed. I took accountability for it. And it's not for no reputation.
Okay, let me ask you this then about Donald Trump. What about what about the predatory and discriminatory renting policies of evicting black residents out of his apartment complexes? What about that?
If you don't pay, you don't stay. I mean, why you let illegal immigrants coming in here staying and you paying for it?
No,
I mean, if you hated Trump for that policy, why Brandon Johnson over there in Chicago getting away?
Oh, okay. This is what I'm talking about. We can't have a conversation where we're staying on one topic. We're talking about Donald Trump. We're talking about his racist actions. We're talking about after the Central Park 5 was after DNA results was deemed innocent. Donald Trump doubled down on his stance about these black predators and that they should stay in jail. What are your thoughts?
What is your thoughts about Joe Biden saying that he don't want his children being in a school full of predators? Come on, man.
Joe Biden is racist too. Joe Biden is racist too.
Okay, but here go my point. Here go my point. Who gave HBCU college allowance? Who gave to the black community as soon as he got into the White House? Who was it? Was it Joe Biden? Because last time I checked, Obama did 2 terms.
Wait a minute,
and did nothing.
Brother, listen, brother. We can talk about what you want to talk. Oh God, Lord. Okay, listen. You making me feel like Tariq Nasheed when he be muting people. I'm just trying to have a conversation. Let's stay on one thing, and then we will move to the next thing. So right now, I ask you a specific question. Can you please respond to that?
What? I'm listening to you, but man, come on, man. You talking too fast.
We went from Donald Trump to Joe Biden. You were saying Joe Biden. I said Joe Biden was racist too, and then you said something else. We're talking about the racist actions of Donald Trump. Then we can move to Joe Biden.
Okay, right now, what racist actions have you seen for Donald Trump? Can you please explain that to me? Because I've been a fan of him since god dang on 1982. 1982, okay. I've been a fan of Donald Trump. He never did nothing wrong to me.
Of course he didn't do nothing to you. Listen to me. 2 things we just went over. The Central Park 5, they were already released and they were deemed innocent. He doubled down.
Okay, they were deemed innocent, but did you watch the interrogation tape?
Brother, see, this is what I'm talking about. Brother, I'm just trying to give you the 2 points you asked me for. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second.
Listen.
Give me 1 second.
I can get you.
Okay. I'm not going to listen. All right, guys. It's Solid Snake 39 related to James Clyburn. Gotta watch these old ninjas. Nah, old niggas. And Shavonda said he's drinking. He sounds like he's drunk. Bless your heart for the patience you have. He's old and ignorant. I'm trying to be patient with it, bro. I'm trying to be patriotic. Listen to me, brother. Listen. You asked me to. I'm giving you 2 things that Donald Trump was racist on. So let me finish. 1, Central Park 5 was innocent. No. He doubled down and stated that they needed to stay in jail. Number 2, he evicting black residents, and they were paying their rent. He didn't want black people inside of his apartments. Now go.
Okay, so what were they doing? I mean, because I can't move over to no middle class neighborhood right now and do what I want to do. I gotta abide by my neighbors. We come together as a community to create, right or wrong. Okay, so if I'm the building owner and I own those buildings, don't you think I have a right to create the policies that my neighbors got to live amongst? That's been agreed upon by the community. Okay, so he's saying, hey, they can't live here because they doing some. Once again, man, if you ain't gonna take accountability for the corrosive culture that we share right now,
no, brother,
there is no need for you to have this conversation.
He evicted them because he was black. Okay, family. What you're saying here is, as Coach said, Blacklogic, this dude has butter biscuit crumbs all over his mouth, and this is the problem with a lot of our black people confused about black empowerment. And B1 is that they're not understanding that we're pointing out the racism of both political parties and not jumping on the train or the wagon of neither. See, he's already on the Donald Trump train. He should have just wore his MAGA hat on video right now. So that way, when people are popping in and out of the chat, we already know where he stands at. So again, I would like to move from Donald Trump to Joe Biden to show you that black empowerment doesn't have a political party that we are affiliated with. We're about the empowerment of our people and stopping the suppression and oppression of our people. So if you just give me a second where you can just listen and we can have a civil conversation. If not, we can end it right here, brother. But go ahead.
Civil conversation, you're being dishonest.
How am I being dishonest?
You are being dishonest. You already know the truth. You know Tommy Sotomayor ain't lying. You know he ain't lying. You know they are not telling the. Come on, man. Stop it, man.
What did he say?
You're selling a dream.
Smith.
You're selling a dream to the American people. And I'm talking about the black American people, because I promise you, I can't go back to Africa. And I've been there. No, you go. Bye. Holla at you.
Snake, what are you talking about?
What are you talking about? What racist policies? What racist policies? Each and every racist policy that you come up on,
no. Hold on,
comes through our own support. We support this culture.
Gotta mute you, brother. Gotta mute you. Listen, you just said, I'm not going back to Africa. Do you even understand foundational Black Americans? Do you understand Black empowerment in America? Our country is America. So what are you talking about going back to Africa? Let's address that.
Accountable for the failure.
So what are you talking about going back to Africa? Where is that coming from?
I'm just saying, if you don't like it here, go somewhere. Because you're being replaced right now anyway. If you ain't paid attention, I want to know where has FBA been since the borders being invaded down there in southern part of Texas? Where has the FBA been? And right now, those same people invading those borders right now, buying businesses in our Black communities. Where is the FBA?
What do you mean?
What do you mean? What business do you have for your child when he get out of high school? Because he ain't gonna beat them Asians, and I hate to be racist, but let's be honest. If I go to a medical facility right now, training school, it's filled with little white girls and little white boys and little Asian boys and little Arabs and little Africans, real genuine Africans. Have you seen African Black male 2.0? He's smart as hell. And y'all crying about reparations. Are you serious?
Who's crying about reparations?
Are you serious? I got seeds out here I got to provide for.
Okay.
When Black
Okay. I couldn't do it no more, family. I couldn't do it no more. I couldn't do it no more. I tried, family. I tried. I couldn't do it no more, family, because he is all over the place. We can't have a civil conversations. He's hooping and hollering. He's talking about from Donald Trump. Then I say Joe Biden. I say Joe Biden is racist too. Then he's talking about you can evict anybody. And I say it's because they were Black. Then he's talking about something else. Trump wasn't even going by his own leasing terms when it came to the Black residents inside of his apartments. Solid or loose snake or chopped off head snake. I don't know what's going on here. I have no idea. I gave him a chance, family. Was I not patient? Did I allow him to spew his rhetoric and his racist trope? And he was talking about all sorts of things. I have no idea what the brother was going at with that. He went from there to where's FBA on the border? Does he know that FBA is not a group? FBA is a lineage. And unfortunately, I do believe that the brother is FBA. He don't even know. Like somebody say, he probably drinking, he probably smoking, he probably shooting something. I don't know what's going on with Solid or Loose Snake, or I don't know. Somebody give me another name for the brother. I'm just gonna call him Snake for now, because that's what snakes do. They hide in the grass and they bang your ankles. They kill you. Lord have mercy. Alcohol has ruined so many lives, hasn't it? Coach says, kids say no to drugs. They are very bad. And believe me, they catch up with you in your old age. Let me tell you. Siobhan just says he's gone. Yeah, he's gone. DSB, he's part of that the 2/3 that just want to make it Blacklogic, my warrior brother, and you had my patience, then I would have hot. Yeah. Blacks for RFK says, when I saw him swinging from the Milwaukee's best ice can, I knew he couldn't be rational. Anyway, family, this is why Blacklogic exists. That's why this platform exists, for truth. And if you notice, when he brought up Joe Biden, what did I positively say about Joe Biden? And then he's talking about Donald Trump giving Black folk, more HBCU money. I pointed that out in the video. I said he gave more HBCU money, but how many Black people does that help? How many Black people does that assist when it comes to all the things that we've been oppressed against? See, a lot of times, family, we have a lot of our a lot of our baby boomers or our early Gen Xers, okay, those late baby boomers and those early Gen Xers are kind of within this really weird niche of a generation. They're so damn confused about Black empowerment. They're so confused about Foundation Black Americans. They're so confused about U.S. freedom. He's talking about, where was FBA down at the border? We're not security guards. We're not Customs and Border Patrol. We're not Homeland Security. We're not Texas National Guard. We're not Texas Reserves. We are not state troopers. That's not our job. Our job is to be truth for power. If you really want to know what Foundation Black Americans have done, look at all the civil rights legislation that's helped majority of other people rather than ourselves. Where do you think all this civil rights come from? Do you think it came from the Republicans? Do you think it came from the Democrats? Or do you think it came from boot on the grounds of Foundation Black Americans? And since you was talking about law, you kind of hinted on the I Had a Dream speech of little white girls and little black boys walking hand in hand together. But did you know that Dr. King was a reparationist? Did you ever listen? Did you ever analyze the I've been to the mountaintop speech? Did you ever mention, or did you ever listen to his clip about we're going to Washington to get our check? So if you're telling me that foundational Black Americans, people who are B1, who are crying about reparations, so you're crying about one of our master teachers and disrespecting the hard work, blood, sweat, and tears that Dr. Martin Luther King did for us, because he was a reparationist at the end as well, and that is why he was assassinated. So go tell people on the internet that Dr. Martin Luther King was crying about reparations before he got assassinated. Tell them that. Tell them that. Tell them that. Well, family, that's all I have for you this morning, this afternoon, wherever you are. Thank you guys for joining me. Please give this video a thumbs up. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Share it on your social media. And my last comment here, Coach says that I like when you have guests, Blacklogic. Okay, I appreciate that, Coach. I'll try to do more of that. And Muhammad says, Negro, our ancestors work for free slave labor, and this country owes the FBA reparations. Thank you. Thank you very much. You guys have a great and wonderful day. I see you guys this evening, 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Be one.